What a beautiful garden.
and kids pool. Yeah, we come in. We got some nice big room, and we have ceiling fans that are about the size of airplane propellers. Yeah, another one with, of course, we got aircon and fans. And I can show you this one. Won't wake up the baby, and it's just
Whoa,
a kind of
look at the backsplash on that.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's what they call a wet bathroom, or a normal Khmer, West or Southeast Asia.
And you got it, and the rooftop terrace is outstanding. It's beautiful. It's 4 flights up. So tell the viewers how much you're paying per month for this apartment.
I pay $300 a month for this apartment.
Okay, so today we're going to head over to Cambodia with my new friend Kelly Ossowski. Kelly, thanks for doing the podcast.
Hey, thanks for inviting me here.
Yeah, so Kelly has a really great YouTube channel called Autumn in Asia. I'm going to list it here so people can read it too. Check it out. That's how I found him, and he's living in this really beautiful apartment that he found in Siem Reap, which is I think it's the second largest city in Cambodia. Is that correct?
Something like that. And it might not be the second. At least it's up in the top 3 or 4 for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 130, I think 135,000 people living in the city. Yeah, just say one thing about that, which is really nice. There's a law in this town that no building can be taller than the top of Angkor Wat.
Yeah.
So that means the highest you have is maybe a 5-story buildings here. You don't have no size skyscrapers, and that's a selling point for me.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes it really authentic and traditional. And Angkor Wat is the largest religious structure in the world, and it's this. I don't even know how to describe it. How would you describe that, Kelly?
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. It was on my bucket list first time I saw it. And there's doing a lot of work out there restoring it. It's just, to think that back in the Roman times, there was already 1 million people living in Angkor Wat. Yeah. I mean, people always, well, it's the West. Well, the East was doing some stuff too.
Yeah.
But just to see all the carvings and everything, the history behind it, it's something else. And it's not just the one temple. There's like 16 temples out there on 100 square miles of land. And it'd take you a good week to see most of them.
Yeah. No, I hear it's just extraordinary. I've seen all the imagery, and I post some of it on these podcasts so people can see it. So just tell us a little bit of backstory about, where you're from, how you landed in Cambodia, and how you got involved into creating content, why you selected Cambodia. Are you retired?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm Kelly from Autumn in Asia. Let me see. The first time I was ever in Asia, I was 17 years old. That was nice. A long time ago. That was I'll say that was in 1976, and I was in the military. In the Navy, I did a lot of Westpac's, deployments. So we'd always be over, somewhere, in Southeast Asia, and I fell in love with it then. And then got out of the military, life happened, and then got older, got retired, and I've been coming to Thailand and Laos since 2015, 16, several times. Probably, I don't know. This trip here now, I just got back. This trip here is like my 15th, 16th trip to Southeast Asia. But how did I end up in Cambodia? We were talking about this a little bit earlier, and I won't get too much into it, but I was originally going to stay in Thailand because, yes, Thailand is beautiful. So is Cambodia. Cambodia is a little bit underrated, I think. But the immigration laws there are just, they will definitely give you a headache, and I don't need headaches.
In Thailand.
In Thailand, yes. It's just crazy. And here in Cambodia, it is so simple. So simple,
Where in Thailand were you living?
I wasn't living in Thailand. I was I was just visiting a lot, and I'd stay 3, 4, 5 weeks, and I was be in a place called Anantapuri, which is it's like Bangkok and Nonthaburi is like Minneapolis, St. Paul, Twin Cities, kind of like it's a million people in that city, just right across the river, and it's I lived way down on the blue line, the subway line or whatever.
Okay.
Uh, and I was like, oh, probably 18, 19 miles away from downtown Bangkok. So I was not around tourists, and it was totally, I was immersed myself. Oh, I have a background in anthropology, so I like immersive studies.
Mhm.
That's,
Wow.
but then when I did retire, I realized, hey, Cambodia,
Let me ask you this. So you're living in the United States and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to go and live in Southeast Asia. What do you do to prepare for that? And then when you first embark on that journey, when you first say, okay, I'm heading out, I'm going to move to Cambodia, what do you take? How much do you take and how do you do it? Do you fill two large, luggages that you check in with a carry-on, or do you ship it? Do you ship stuff overseas, or do you wait until you identify an apartment that you just identified before you ship things over? Walk us through that process.
Before you do your due diligence, and most vloggers over here, whether it's in Cambodia, Thailand, wherever Southeast Asia, and I'd probably say around the world, before you commit, always get boots on the ground. Go there, not just for a vacation, but a little bit longer, because yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to love the place for a vacation. Yeah. Oh man, I spent 2 weeks on the beach. Yeah. No, you got to spend a little bit more time to really get it. And like in Thailand, I was living out with the locals and stuff, not just doing the tourist thing. So I got a little bit more of a feel of the Asian culture, and I'm going, yeah, I like that. So you do some boots on the ground if you can, and you do your due diligence, you do your research. You don't just YouTube it, yeah, YouTube, but also when it comes to things like visas, I mean, and paperwork, illegal stuff, go to the websites, go to the official websites, and make sure you know what you're doing, because you can get in a little bit of trouble. It costs you a little bit extra money. I could tell you a couple of stories, but that's stories.
Hmm.
And then when you come, yeah, no, I just came with two big old suitcases and backpack. I had my cameras, my computer, and clothes, and
So you brought it all together on the plane with you, every your
yeah,
belongings. So did you
yeah.
get rid of everything back in Minnesota?
Well, actually, I was living in Arizona. Well, yeah, actually, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I sold everything. I never owned a house. I always thought that was a ball and chain. Uh, rambling guy, And yeah, I just sold everything. Got some stuff at my daughter's house still. It's things that I want to keep. My old tools for my crafting in case I ever want to get back into that. I just bring them back. But yeah, I mean, you as far well. Hey, now here's one. As far as clothes, if you're like a little bit larger guy,
Yeah.
you might want to you might want to make sure you have shirts. No, actually, I have a hard time finding shirts because I'm 215 pounds, right?
Hmm.
But so like shirts are not all that great. But I did find a tailor-made shirt here, excellent quality, for $16.
Yeah. No, it's
But
amazing.
anyways, yeah.
That's one of the special offerings about living in Asia is
Oh yeah,
I lived in South Korea and Seoul a few years back, and I was just blown away that you could walk down the street and there'd be shoemakers that would they could literally create and make a shoe from scratch with leather,
yeah,
whatever you need, a suit. They'll just whatever, it's like real old school and still in Asia where they just create this stuff and make it, and it just doesn't exist anymore in the United States. It's very rare
yeah.
to find places like that today.
They're very industrious, that's for sure. Very, very industrious.
All right, well, let's dive into visa. Whatever you can tell us about visa requirements in Cambodia. You were talking visa. It's not as
Visa.
complicated in Cambodia. It's a very friendly visa process in Cambodia. Tell us about
Yeah.
that.
Well, when you come to, starting, I think next month, you're going to have to. you can't get a visa on arrival, like at the airport, like a lot of places do. You have to do an e-visa, electronic visa. Don't get the e-visa mixed up with electronic visa. Okay, so you do that online. I'm not sure the website, but it's probably easy enough to find. And I think that's like $35 to come in. You do not come in if you're going to stay here for a long time. Do not come under a tourist visa, because you can only, that's 30 days, and I think you can extend it once. But you have to come in under an e-visa, or sometimes they call it an O visa, other. And that'd be no problem, $30, $35, something like that. And then when you're here for a week and a half, whatever, go to just about any travel agency here in town, and you say, I'd like to get a 12-month extended visa. And they will ask for your passport. They'll ask you, your address where you're living at, and then they'll ask you to put your thumbprint on the paperwork, and they do that a lot. And that's about it. That is seriously about it. There's no paperwork. There's no background check. There's no health check. There's no bank check. There's nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
And now, like for mine, it's some people will say it's a retirement visa. Technically, it's not, but technically that's what we use it as. Okay.
Sure.
And that'll be a 12-month visa. The visa itself is $280, I think $280, $270, $280. And you pay that if you're to do it down in Phnom Penh. Okay. Because that's the only place you can get it done. But by going through these travel agents, for $10, their fee, they will send it down, certified and all or whatever. And usually within 10 days, it's usually been about 7 days for me. They'll give you a call and say, hey, come pick up your passport and visa. And that's it. And also the nice thing about those visas, I know the 6 and the 12-month, they're multiple entries. So you can like head on up to Laos for a weekend or whatever and come back. And I mean, absolutely no problem. You can go in and out every weekend. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you don't have to pay anything coming back. You've already got your visa here. So that's a nice deal.
That's convenient when you move around and you want to go check out the other countries. So you're saying it's approximately around $280 for that 12-month visa? Yeah.
Now if you come in for a work visa or a business visa or things like that, that's a whole different ball game, and it can cost you up to $400 on some of those business visas and whatever. Yeah. I do not know anything about that, but that's where you have to do your own due diligence.
Okay. Sure. So then to renew that for 12 months, you pay another $280.
Yeah. It takes you all of a matter of about 10 minutes driving your motorbike down there, doing it and coming back.
Yeah. Nice.
Simpler. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's dive into the rents there in Siem Reap. And that's a 2-bedroom, right?
Yes.
And you got it, and the rooftop terrace is outstanding. It's beautiful. It's 4 flights up. So tell the viewers how much you're paying per month for this apartment.
I pay $300 a month for this apartment. $2.50 for water per adult, and that's it. Some apartments you'll pay things like a little bit more for water. Oh, and my electricity, of course. But sometimes you'll have to pay for like trash pickup and little things like that, but not here. And usually everywhere in the world, Wi-Fi is free,
Yeah.
And Wi-Fi is pretty cheap here. My SIM card I put in my phone lasts for 1 month, and I get 60 gig of data for $6 a month.
Wow. So your cell phone is $6 a month.
Yeah. And then here we have Wi-Fi, which comes with the apartment.
And that's free.
Yeah. And it's separate for each, it's separate for each apartment. So kind of
How much do you pay for electric? Do you know?
Not here at this particular place, but my last apartment, I was paying well, no more than $50 a month for electricity.
Okay.
And that was last year when I got sick. I spent some time in the hospital. Check out the video, hey. Uh, but I was using the aircon a little bit more than usual. But generally, I hardly ever use the aircon. Some people really have to.
Sure.
It's kind of like a medical thing. Some people are just not built for this heat and this humidity.
Yes.
And yeah, so I mean, if you want to talk about that, or any other questions about rent, yeah, I got something about rent.
Well,
You don't have to. You don't have to pay $300 a month. You don't have to pay $500 a month. If you want to, you can get a studio room as cheap as $60 a month.
and what does that
Seriously.
look like? What?
Looks like basically uh, basically it would look like a remodeled garage. Not to say anything bad about it. It's livable. It's doable. Usually there is no aircon. Usually it's just a fan. But yeah, that's as simple as it gets.
Yeah.
I know a couple of people, Westerners that choose to live that lifestyle. Um, it's just what you're happy with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if you just need to rent a one bedroom? It's a nice one bedroom, does have air conditioning. What can you find that for?
Like $200 will probably get you a really nice one with
Okay.
kind of newer, and they'll probably like have a pool and maybe some exercise equipment. But usually about $200 on that. Usually you get the pool, but yeah, you can still find them for 150. Further outside of town, of course it gets cheaper.
Wow. Okay, that's incredible. All right, so let's talk about the weather because you're absolutely right. And I actually have some friends that want to come with me to check out Southeast Asia
All
when I
right.
go, but they are concerned about the heat. That's one of the things that they talk about. And I said, well, that's one thing that you have to uh, adjust to because
Mhm.
if you don't, it's just not the place for you. It's everybody that I talk to in Southeast Asia says it's really hot and it's really humid. But tell us a little bit about that.
Well, uh, today it's going to get up to, I think, I don't know, 41, 42 degrees Celsius. It's going to get up to about 101, 102.
Yeah.
Okay. This has been the hottest April that just about everybody I talked to says this has been the hottest April that they can remember. This is my third April here, and I'm going, yeah, it's hot. But you can get used to it. Uh, a lot of people will use aircon a lot. I knew this one gentleman, he used it 24/7 and he was paying $250 a month for electricity.
Yeah.
As you can see, I've got the fan on, and I've got another little one blowing on me. Um, as long as you have air movement, like a fan on you or wind outside, and you're sweating a little bit, that automatically cools you. That's what your body sweats for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the humidity helps that because yeah, I've spent a lot of time out in the deserts and like Tucson where my daughter lives, and it's so dry there that when you get a breeze, it don't cool you off. It makes you hotter. It seems like it's a convection oven. It's
Sure. Yeah.
but then again, like last night, we turned the aircon in, cool the room off because it's brutal right now. But like I
hmm
said, it's usually not this hot. Next month, it's going to start going down a little bit, and we're going to start getting a little bit of rain. But if you're going to be here, let's say you're going to do a 3-month exploratory. Don't come right in April. Come in February and work up to the heat. Because yeah, boots on the ground right in April. That's ouch.
What are the coolest months there in Cambodia?
December, January.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll get some 85-degree highs, 86-degree highs. It's very very pleasant then.
Okay. And what's the lows typically during that time? Does it ever go to highs at 70?
70, 75, 70s. Yeah,
Okay. So quite pleasant.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. What's your take on have you've obviously I'm guessing you spent some time in Phnom Penh, the capital. What's
No,
what's your take on you haven't?
no. No,
Okay.
no, I do not like big cities. I was in Phnom Penh for a couple of days when I first arrived here,
Yes. Okay.
and I really didn't like it. Um, I don't like any big cities except Bangkok. Bangkok's a real fun town just to walk around and get video and stuff. But other than that, and it's real easy to get around too.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not much into the big cities. That's why I live out here in Siem Reap. And actually, some of my friends that moved from Siem Reap down to like Kempot, they said, "Yeah, I got to move out of Siem Reap. It's too big." And I'm going,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? 135,000 people. You know, it's not too big, not too small. It's got everything that you want.
Yep.
You know, hospitals and it's just everything. You know.
Yeah. Okay. So Kelly, where you live in that apartment, do you need transportation to come and go to the store, pick up groceries, or are you within walking distance to stuff like that?
I'm in walking distance, probably 5 minutes from Sakram. I did a video of that just recently, and that's one of the wet markets, the closest one. You can get a lot of things that that you want to eat. I mean, the Khmer people get like 99% of their stuff at the wet markets, um, and after a while, you learn how to maneuver that and how to bargain. You know that. They see a barong coming in, of course, they're gonna try to get a couple extra bucks from you. But I mean, that's
Mhm.
just the way it is. That's
Hmm.
just the way it is in the world, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now, if you okay, where I'm at here, and then if you wanted to go like to the Western markets, the supermarkets, yeah, you would need some kind of transportation, unless you like walking. Um, I don't know, maybe 4 kilometers from here, five,
Okay.
and they're very expensive. Your canned goods and things like that. But if you really
Hmm.
want it, you can get it. Um, I have a motorbike. It's a Honda Click 125, a little small thingy. Gets me.
Uh-huh.
It's gotten me. I've done 7 day trips, 6 day trip. I've been. You can see in the videos. And I bought it used. It had a 36,000 kilometers on it, and I bought it for $1,550.
Okay.
But if you don't like bikes or whatever, they have like tuk-tuks, which are kind of expensive, but they have like Pass app. It's like a Uber,
Hmm.
okay, and it's a little small. It's really cool, and and even with the tuk-tuks, it shouldn't cost you no more than $3 to get to anywhere in town. So
Okay. So that's really reasonable getting around.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Do they,
absolutely, yeah.
does Siem Reap have the like a public bus system or
No, no, they've
nothing?
been thinking about it, talking about it, but not yet.
Okay. Any ride share like Uber or
But they do have the Grab. They do have Pass app, and yeah, you can request cars and stuff, but usually it's a request with the uh, like it's a little three-wheel motorcycle, totally covered. You could fit like two people in the back and then the driver up in front.
yeah.
That's a Pass app, and like we go about 3.5 kilometers here, and it cost me less than $2 when we go up to the club, go swimming. Um, you know, and But you can get larger, you can get SUVs and stuff with that app. Or
Hmm.
else the tuk-tuks driving up and down. They got the motorcycles up in front and they're open
Yeah.
air.
Yep.
It's kind of a touristy thing. Or you can get a lot more people in it. You could fit like 6 people in some of those. So it's uh, pretty economic way to do that when you have a whole bunch of people.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
let's dive into some of the monthly expenses. So what do people what will people spend if you're a single person typically spend on groceries per month? What would you estimate?
That would be what's according to your lifestyle. When I first got here, I was eating a lot of Western and a lot of takeout and ordering pizzas and going and getting burgers and stuff. And it would be pretty close to $300 a month.
Okay.
Okay. And I have a lifestyle change here, and the majority of my stuff comes from the wet markets and stuff. And I'm going to have to guess less than 200 a month for sure. And even maybe a little bit less just for one person if you cook your.
All right. So about $200 a month. And that covers really all three of you.
Yeah, we get everything. Like you can get uh You can get a kilo of rice for like $1, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, I like the small little shrimp, $8 a kilo. You know, pork is like about two and a half, $2.75 for a kilo. That's a lot of pork. I mean, it's you know,
Now, do you
um,
think that a single person going over there could get by on 150 a month of groceries?
if you eat locally, yeah, absolutely.
All right, great. So then going out to eat,
Mhm,
explain like so people know what Thai food is. A lot of people
mhm.
know Vietnamese pho soup. That's a big thing. So Thai is probably the most famous. What is Cambodia food like? Is it similar to Thai? And if when you go out to a local neighborhood eatery, something, where you can get a nice rice dish with maybe I don't know, combination of whatever that is. What does it run? What does it cost?
Well, like for if you wanted to, like just for lunch and get a bowl of noodles with some pork and some uh, know, things like that in it, noodles, pork. You're looking at a dollar 25, maybe $1.50 if there's
Wow.
a couple of extra eggs in it or something like with some rice or whatever. My favorite, one of my favorites is called loklak, and they usually serve it over white rice, but it's beef, and they cook it in some spices, garlic and onion and uh, uh, fish sauce and oyster paste, and it's really really good. It's actually kind of a knockoff of a Vietnamese dish called shaky beef. So it's really good. It's one of my favorites. And you can get it for as cheap as like maybe $2, 2.50, and it's usually a pretty big plate.
So
Eat out
Kelly,
like at the park
if
or
you go
something.
out and you're like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna go grab a lunch and I just want to have a nice cold beer with my lunch. What do they charge for a beer over there?
Well, if you buy the beer at the store, at a mom and pop store, you're looking at local beer, looking at about 63 cents a can.
Okay.
Yeah. And then and then usually, unless you're at a really really fancy bar or something, usually it's frowned upon if you're paying more than $1.25 for a cold can of beer.
Okay.
And sometimes a lot of those places will have all day long tap beers for like 50, 60 cents
For
a
tap beer.
glass. Yeah,
So you can easily have a nice lunch for $3, it sounds like,
yeah,
with a glass of beer.
yeah, yeah. That would be a local type. Now, if you want to go
Wow.
out and get a burger or something, that's gonna be a little bit different.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So what would you say if you had a monthly budget to spend on going out to eat? What do you think would be a
Well, when
good
I first
budget?
got here, mine was probably about $70 a month, and I
Okay.
also include. 'Cause I'm not much of a person that goes out. I also include a delivery. They got a couple of delivery services here that are really good, and you can get all kinds of food. Of course, it's a little bit spendier than going out to a restaurant and getting it. I'm sure, but
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So great.
Yes, you can or yes, you can order your Domino's pizza if you want.
Yeah. That's that's wild. Do they have McDonald's over there?
No, no, not here
No.
in Cambodia.
Okay.
Um, Thailand, yeah, of course, but we
Yeah.
got 7-Elevens. We got 7-Elevens here now.
Wow. It's
Oh, yeah.
wild. All right. So what can you tell us about healthcare? Everybody who's thinking about moving to or retiring, especially to Cambodia, they want to know about healthcare.
How much money you got? Um,
Uh-oh.
um, I okay, yeah, a lot of people have done videos on that. I kind of touched upon that on a couple of videos last year when I was sick in the hospital and recovering. Um, yeah, I travel with Crohn's disease and it's not fun, but hey, I'm
Okay.
not going to let it stop. And anyways, personally myself, I don't have health care. A lot of people choose that route. Um, and I have a special account that I do not touch, and that account is just for emergencies. And
Okay.
if I don't have enough money in that account for emergency, it wouldn't matter if I have health insurance or not. Okay. You know, it's kind of like an HOA, but it's not. It's my own personal HOA or whatever they call it. Not
Yeah.
an HOA, HMO,
Hmm.
one of those things.
Sure.
But now other insurance, getting actual, paying, that all depends on your factors, how healthy you are, how old you are, and the older you get. And and from what I understand, if you do get sick and go to the hospital, you're going to pay out of your pocket first, anyways, and
Hmm.
then you got to fight with the insurance companies to get reimbursed. And we all know that insurance companies, their number one thing is not to pay out any money.
Sure.
There's been there's been I've known people, and there's basically horror stories on that, but that's a whole nother video.
Hmm.
But I do want to say that's just me. That's my the way I feel about it. You guys do your own, and girls do your own due diligence on it. Be comfortable with what you want, and what you got to be comfortable. You just can't. Oh shit, I'm not going to do anything because I don't want to get sick or anything. No, no,
Yeah.
no. You want to enjoy. You want to enjoy your autumn years, and if you're older, yeah. I mean, if you have, if I mean, if you don't worry about spending $2,000 a year, $3,000 a year, yeah, you can get coverage.
But it's
You
going
can
to
get it
cost you about 2,000 a year.
Don't quote me on that one, but I mean, you can pay as much as you want for health insurance. It all
Hmm.
depends on the perks that you get and all that other stuff that goes with it, your copay and all that. Just like anywhere else in the world, a lot of these companies that some of the people that I know, they're international companies, international health companies. Uh, I can't. Right off the bat, I can't think of any. But that's something
Hmm.
that you individually would have to research and do your due diligence.
So when you were in the hospital, you're paying out of pocket. Can you
Mhm.
give us any kind of cost um, comparative to what it is there compared to, if you spend a night or two in the hospital here in the
Mhm.
US?
I spent 3.5 days in the hospital. Went through the emergency room. I was having a lot of pain from Crohn's disease, and at the same time, I got food poisoning and an intestinal blockage, and it was a like perfect storm. But they were I had a private room. I didn't even ask for it. They just put me in the private room. They figured, oh, hey, look, he's got a good shirt on, and he's American. Uh, the room cost me $30 a night. Okay, and all the tech services, them coming in, putting in IV drips and stuff. That was $15 a day. They had so many things dripping in me and all that. I had to go and okay, they did a couple of ultrasounds. I had to go and get a CAT scan. When I had to go to a different hospital, so they had to bring me in an ambulance and back. What else? I had like five shots of morphine. It was painful. Trust me. It was
Yeah.
long story. But anyways, what else? And then the meds that I bought when I got out, and 2 cases of Ensure because I could not eat. I hadn't eaten for a long time. I dropped 15 pounds in a month. But that entire everything was $1,200.
Wow. Which would
Yeah.
probably be what, 25 to 40,000 in the US?
How much is an ambulance ride?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
What what was your
Hmm.
impression of the quality of care?
The hospitality and the professionalism, uh, better than I've ever experienced in my life.
Kelly, did you need an interpreter or were the doctors able to speak to you in English?
The doctors could speak to me in English. Some of the nurses and the assistants, there would be a little bit of a problem there. Um, but if there was any problem, they'd get somebody that would speak English, and so it wasn't an issue really,
Yeah,
not at
yeah.
all.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. You look great.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I gained them 15 pounds back.
Well, you know what? If it's going to be like 100 and some degrees there for the next few days, you might just sweat it off.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. Oh yeah, that's one thing I wanted to mention also about the heat. I wished I would have brought one. I was going to bring one with you. Very important to keep your electrolytes up. Um, you can drink gallons and gallons of water, and it's not going to do your body exactly everything that needs to be done with it. But they have these little packs. It's almost like Kool-Aid, but it's not. It's called Royal D. Comes in a couple of different flavors. You just put a pack of in a bottle of water and shake it up, and that'll get your. It's like a sports drink, what is it, a Gatorade or something. You buy a whole case of it, and it costs you 14 cents per usage, right? And yeah, but you need to keep your electrolytes up, especially if you're sweating a lot. If you're going out doing a lot of walks when it's hot, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
Okay.
people don't know that. They just think, oh, I'm just drink a whole bunch of water. Well, that's good, but you need a little electrolyte in there too.
Yeah. Right. Well, Kelly Ossowski from Autumn
Yeah.
in Asia. Thank you so much,
Mhm.
sir, for doing this. This has been a pleasure.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank you too. It was a lot of fun, and yeah.